we're gonna bring to the PorterWay Podcast now. Who has been coined the last man to beat Terence Bud Crawford? Yep. And that last man happens to be from Cleveland, Ohio. So all right. Had to find my guy. We actually haven't spoken in quite some time. So this definitely gave us an opportunity to catch up and all that other kind of stuff. Let's welcome to the PorterWay Podcast, Silky Smooth, Miguel Gonzalez.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Cleveland.
They got the win today, too.
Good W, Sean. Good W. How you doing?
Yes, sir. We had to get what we had to get. And I talked to Bud earlier, and, so I said, I'll see you next week with a dub on my arm.
Yeah.
Hey, there it is. Man, big shout out to Cleveland Browns, man. Great win. Great victory.
We're not going to keep you long. This is going to be a short one for us today, but I want to ask, do you take any offense to being called the last man to beat Terence Crawford? Do you have any malice with not having a career, I guess for the sake of words, a career of your own that is recognized? More so, me bring you on here as the last guy to beat Terence Bud Crawford.
I mean, it's mixed emotions, you know what I mean? I wish I was the guy to be on top at the moment, but unfortunately that ain't happened. I'm great with the victory. I'm great with what I had with Bud Crawford. You know what I mean? I take my hat off to him in his career. Hey, but he and I know what's really going on when we in that ring. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm excited and I'm gonna keep going. As long as he keep winning. Hey, I'm that man.
I spoke to him earlier and he said. He said he know what happened. He said something like I was beating that ass or something like. He said something like that, and then he said no, you know what? I'm gonna give it to him though. He said I felt like I was beating him, but it was a close fight, and Miguel got the decision. That's basically what he said. What do you remember about that fight?
Yeah, I excuse my language. I remember I beat him like 26 to like 13 or something. So I mean, I don't see how close he said it was, but. You can check that up, man. And we had rumbles, man. We rumbled, and I take my hat off to him. You know what I mean? Great guy, great fighter. I just feel that, honestly, I feel I'm better than him.
Silky Smooth, man. Funny enough, my trainer back in the day, my little amateur career was Augie Sanchez, and Augie's the last guy to beat Floyd Mayweather, right? And like similar to you being and you guys almost got similar records. Augie was 28-3, you were 25-4, and we just had Brandon Adams on, who was on the same finals, the Boxino tournament that you were at back in 2014 on ESPN.
Awesome, yeah. Great.
So just my question to you is, I remember Augie told me. I was like, how'd you do it? How'd you beat him? And he said, you got to out-hustle Floyd. You got to stay on top of him, and you're not going to beat him punch for punch. You got to outwork him, out-hustle him. And funny enough, he said that, and then years later, I saw guys like Maidana have some success doing that. So I asked you the same thing I asked my man Augie. What do you got to do to beat Terence Crawford? What did you do to actually get a win over him?
I agree with Augie. With what he said about Floyd, I'm going to say about Crawford. You got to punch with Crawford. You got to counter Crawford. And punch with Crawford. You gotta bang the body with Crawford. You gotta stay on top of Crawford. You know what I mean? Fight him in that phone booth if you can. As I remember, that's exactly what I did. Crawford, he switches and all that. I don't get that. I don't get out my hookup with all the switching he does. But what tripped me out was he got low in the ring. Like he kind of like cut his height down. I had a field day with that. He should have stayed tall. He cut his height down, and I stayed in his chest. And you gotta counter Crawford. You gotta fight Crawford. And what I always thought about Crawford was he's easily taken out his hookup. I thought, maybe he fought his fight. I thought he fought my fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he grew out of getting out of his hookup. I think I think he learned how to just kind of adjust and do what needed to be done more so.
Break that down for us, guys. What do you guys mean the hookup? Break that down for us.
So yeah, you know what?
Getting caught up in a war?
I'll go ahead, Miguel. Like break down Bud getting caught out of his hookup.
Well, with Bud, I thought, but you can easily get Bud to fight you.
Back in the day. Yeah. And Gamboa, showed parts of that. And Bud, all his fights, Bud fights you. Yeah.
Bud gets, you know what I mean? Every fight I see Bud fighting, even still to this day, but I totally understand what Sean's saying. For sure. Bud's the truth. But when I see Bud fighting, you catch him, he want to catch you back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition. I kind of felt that Canelo was capable, but he didn't do anything that I actually thought he was capable of doing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, when you were watching that fight, at what point did you know Canelo can't beat Crawford?
I'm gonna say early on. Even though I heard the critics saying, what they thought about Canelo and what they thought about the fight, this and that. I thought early on, Sean, honestly, I felt, wow, Bud gonna do this all day long. He's got it in the bag. You know what I mean? So I to answer your question, I want to say early on in the fight.
There was in the fourth round, that first minute, Bud came out and he made a stand. He let a combination go, even back Canelo up. I kind of felt like in that first minute of the fourth round, that's where the fight really, from there on out, it was Crawford. But I don't know.
John, let me ask you a question. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Canelo started his professional career, I believe, at 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which shows, obviously, he didn't have the amateur background we grew up having.
Right.
I don't think someone like that, honestly, I don't see someone like that outboxing a person as a caliber fighter as we are growing up in the amateurs. Bud, yourself, myself, you know what I mean? Amateur experience means a lot to me.
Yeah.
You had Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I don't think he had a amateur career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can be wrong, but I just don't see them guys out boxing later on in their career like a Bud.
There are Mexican Olympians, boxing Olympians, but the thing that I hear about Mexicans from Mexico, they're not about the amateurs. They're about turning pro, and they're about carrying on that lineage of great, exciting, professional Mexican boxers. But the thing that gets lost there is the experience, understanding, like for me, to fight 4 rounds in the amateurs and then move on to fight 4 3-minute rounds as a pro, there's certain adjustments that we have to make. Seeing so many different styles and so many different flavors. It's the same ice cream, but it's just a different flavor. And it's like, but when you've had a taste of all that, you kind of learn what works for the southpaw, what works against the puncher, what works against the boxer, what works against the counter puncher. And for me, I think honestly, that's why I was able to kind of become who I was as a professional, because I saw so much of it as an amateur. I was never afraid to jab with the southpaw. I was never afraid to fight a southpaw. Why, Miguel? Because in the amateurs, we be in line to weigh in, and dudes is complaining about fighting the southpaw. I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy that complains about fighting the southpaw.
All the time.
When I would hear you can't land a jab on the southpaw, now I'm going to challenge myself to be the guy that lands a jab against the southpaw.
Step on his foot.
Yeah, like all those things. And so you're right.
All the time. We grew up hearing that. Now, to agree with what you're saying, I still believe like those fighters that come from Mexico, they have wonderful careers. I'm going to take the boxer that had a wonderful amateur career as well as a professional career over that guy from Mexico who has no amateur career. Right. 90% of the time.
Yeah, a lot of times when it comes to that, you're going to fight against pressure. You're going to fight against a big punch. You're going to fight against the body shots. And it's like leaving those things. You're not going to get a guy that once you get past their pressure, they're going to start fighting on the back foot and feinting you and pulling you in. And, you know, I think to become a complete fighter, there's not very many guys that have the ability to do that in the first place. But beyond that, to become the complete fighter, you would have had to have seen a lot and gone through a lot. And there's limited amount of experience you can get as a professional.
Why then, fellas, was Canelo able to overcome that amateur gap against Golovkin, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, Erislandy Lara, guys who were decorated?
Yeah.
How come he was able to overcome that, but not this guy?
I think with the exception of Billy Joe and Caleb, the other guys that you named, it kind of was a little bit of help there, you know, for the sake of words in terms of the judging.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
he got the benefit of the doubt.
But on top of that, he is or has become a generational talent, having an amount of power, having an amount of resilience that we were hearing Brandon talk about as well. He had a special combination for himself that even though he didn't have the amateur background, he still had intangibles. He still had characteristics. I was talking to my wife just yesterday. He has gifts that were given to him. Reflexes that, you know, you know, necessarily can be taught.
Who we're speaking of?
Canelo.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Canelo was, yeah. Canelo was bad. Canelo's great.
Hey, yo, couple more. We're gonna let you go. Obviously, you turn pro. Your career goes the way that it went. Poor management. You know, couple of deaths. You know, just a lot that prevented you from getting ultimately where you wanted to go. And I know you were watching guys like me and Keith Thurman and Terence Crawford and Danny Garcia, Saddam Ali. You're seeing all of us move the way that we were moving. Were you surprised to see anybody get where they got? Danny Garcia, because I know you had some fights against him.
Did he know Bud was going to be this good?
Did you know Bud was going to be as good as he's become? Did you know Danny was going to get where he got? And I got another one for you. Go ahead, answer that one.
I was with Rasheed Warrens and the Adrian Broners, you know, the whole Cincinnati camps. And to correct you, I never fought Danny Garcia. He was around my weight. But I fought 5 world champions, 5 guys that became world champions, including the Abner Mares and the Terence Crawfords, the Victor Ortiz. Now with my guys that you named, you know, I'm not surprised at all. I'm shocked and surprised at the fact that I wasn't signed to an Al Heyman.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think boxing, you got to be with the right people. You know? You can make whoever, you know, the right people can make someone become a champion. Mm-hmm. I believe I had all the talent in the world. I can compete with the best of them. I've experienced seeing a Floyd Mayweather's training camp that opened my eyes to what a real training camp was. I've been in Lennox Lewis training camp at the Poconos, living with Emmanuel Stewart. You know what I mean? And again, like I say, I beat these guys growing up. As a professional, I beat a world champion, Miguel Acosta. He lost the title to Brandon Rios. That's how Brandon became a champion. Am I surprised? To answer your question, no, I'm not surprised. That's what we all did it for.
Yeah.
You guys made it. Guys made it that I grew up with. Unfortunately, I ain't had that ride, but that's okay. I'm training fighters, and I'm gonna make me a champion.
Absolutely. Period. There it is. Why don't you shout out the name of your gym? Also get the location of it as well.
Okay, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, training. I'm running a boxing gym called The Angle Boxing Gym. Only up until, you know, Shawn Porter and I decided to put something in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? And raise Cleveland champion, Sean.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like,
yes, sir. Yes,
but,
sir.
You know, I'm running a boxing gym, me and my dad. We out of Old Angle Boxing Gym across the street from St. Ignatius High School on Lorraine Avenue, 29th and 30th. in Lorraine to be exact. And we're training up and coming champions, you know what I mean? We got kids of all ages. We got people of all kinds. And, you know, they come in there, they love the program. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the future holds. I'm excited to see these kids progress. I'm excited for me to be able to put the silky smooth sauce on these kids, you know what I mean? And teach and give back what I've grown to learn, you know what I mean? And that's my life. That's my life right now, you know, traveling with them kids. So, you know, we're looking for donations, sponsorships, and whatnot to get these kids rocking and rolling. As of right now, we're financing this. My father and I, we're financing all of these things ourselves. You know, that's just the love that we have for the sport. I'm still sparring with these guys. Maybe one day, you know, we'll get some phone calls. I believe one of the last phone calls I got was from Tank Davis. You know what I mean? I came down there to West Palm Beach, trained with him, sparring with him, and Kevin Cunningham was the coach at the time. You know, so I'm still doing my thing. I'm staying active. And again, you know, trying to get this program off and rolling with these kids, man. We got 2 state fair champions back to back rolling. We got state silver glove champions. You know what I mean? And these are just a couple tournaments that I've won myself, you know, as an amateur. I got about 10, if not more, national championships, you know what I mean, myself. And, you know, so I'm still in it. And this is something I love to do, Sean. And you know how it is, man. It's in our blood.
Yes, sir.
I got one more for him.
Go for it.
Miguel, coming out of Ohio is Abdullah Mason. Did you ever get close to this kid? And is Abdullah, he's got that same freakish length Crawford had starting at 135. Is he remind you of Terence at all? Is he the most Terence Crawford-like talent out there on the horizon right now coming up?
Abdullah Mason, it's strange. I was looking at a few messages of mine. I was in contact with his father more times than not. And they ran into me. I came off of a bus not that long ago on the east side of Cleveland. And they approached me. And I looked over to my left shoulder and I seen his dad and him and his brothers approach me. What's going on, Silky Smooth? You know, they had the camera. They did a little interview. Shout outs to them. They doing their thing. And like I told his father, I think honestly, Abdullah Mason, you know, he's on his way, man. The kid is spectacular. He's looking sharp. He shows me that grit, that he's humble, and he shows me that desire and that hunger. You know what I mean? One of his fights, if not his last fight, I seen him come off the canvas to put God down, and he then I think he went back down and came up, and he just was not taking no for an answer. And you know, I said, wow, he had me cheering and up off my seat, and I'm just proud of that young man. And soon I hope. Again, you know, I love this so much. I hope to be in the same ring with him, you know, whether it's a training camp, trying to prepare him for a southpaw or, you know, whatever the case may be, man. His father give me a phone call. I'm all there for that young man. He's amazing. And sky's the limit for him, for sure. Out of Cleveland, too, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Midwest might have another one.
All right, real quick, before we let you go, you and I, we fought, we was kids. We were...
Yes, sir.
Who won?
Yeah, for sure.
I think you 2 years older than me.
Hey, I'm older than you?
I think you 2 years older than me. Don't play like I'm older than you.
80, what's 7?
I'm 87, yeah.
Okay.
You 85?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
November. What month are you?
October.
Oh, are you a Scorpio, Sean?
No. I'm a lovely Libra.
You a Libra.
Yeah.
But you ain't no lion Libra, bro.
Nah, I ain't no lion Libra. Not no more.
Talk to me now.
Hey, yo, tell everybody real quick, like, what was one of the things about fighting me? Like, what was it?
You know? Let me tell you got stronger every fucking round.
Who won?
Hey, bro. In that corner, bro. I don't know what daddy was giving you, bro. You would come out every round, bro, stronger.
Yeah.
You was running from the corner to the middle, to the center of the ring.
Yeah.
I seen seen you coming. You was just shooting over and wouldn't stop.
Yeah. Hey, yo,
Sean
Miguel.
Had that, man, Sean.
Silky smooth,
you,
man.
brother.
God bless you, big dog. We're going to talk in just a minute, all right?
You got it?
Yes, sir.
I love you, bro.
Salute,
Take
brother.
care, for sure.